Okay, so the mood is really intense right now with what's going on in the Middle East and threats of our involvement or something even happening here. So let's talk about it. So, first of all, right off the bat, from what Spirit has already shown me, from what I've been asking for several months, I have not received World War. Just to get that out of the way. So, it's very confusing now that conditions are shaping up that it looks like we're headed there. So, what's going on? What's going on is what Spirit has been telling us would happen all along. Two very important things. Number one, we are clearing the karma of war. And number two, we are in a mastery challenge. I'm going to break this down further because it seems like we're in a contradiction, but we're not. This is how it looks when we are breaking cycles, when we are up against a test of our mastery and we are wanting to change the course of history. Both change the past, how we've done things, clear out that karma, and going forward in the future, write a new story. So when I'm looking around at everything that's happening, it's awful, it's scary, yes. However, we are right on target. I know. Just hear me out. I've already talked quite a bit about mastery lessons, and if you go to my emotional support playlist, there's two videos in particular, number 12 and number 13, that talk very specifically about mastery lessons. If you're watching this on YouTube, I will add links in the caption. What a mastery challenge or mastery lesson is we are going through that sort of same shit, different day type of energy. We are going on the spiral of healing to revisit our lessons, to revisit the circumstances that are very reminiscent of lessons we've had in the past, to gauge how far along in our healing we are and how ready and willing we really are to change. So just briefly, I'll kind of explain. So we think of time as linear, right? But it isn't. We know that. Instead, time is circular, non-linear, and like a spiral. Our healing lessons, our patterns, all come around on a spiral. So as we go through life and we go around the circle, we come against a lesson, a challenge, something we went through that we didn't handle well, whether personally or collectively for all of us. So as we come up against that lesson, and we go through this challenging experience, if we feel like we have mastered something or won the battle or whatever it is, we handle that in a positive way that allowed us to heal and level up, then we keep going upward on the spiral. Eventually, we will come back to that place, to that same lesson, but we're higher up. We're higher up in the octave. And so when we come against that lesson, we're going to feel it again, face it again, but in a different way to see, are we really healing, leveling up, or are there aspects of it we haven't mastered? In which case we come against the battle, we fight it, and let's say we didn't pass the test. It's not quite that black and white, but for argument's sake, let's say we didn't pass the test, then we go down the spiral, working backward until we come at it again from a lower level to see what else we need to learn from it, how else we need to shift, different mindsets we need to adopt, things we need to heal so we can let go and go back up the spiral. So that's what's happening now. And that is part of this path of clearing the karma of war. It's not all going to be seeing the wonderful things, the good things, people coming together, tears of joy. It's not always going to be that. Wish it was, but it's not always going to be that. However, since we have had that recently, right? I shared a bunch of those videos. We're all feeling it. And then we saw the No King's Day. We saw people coming together. We saw that show of unity. That has kicked us onto the higher octave of the spiral. We have been healing. We have been growing. We've been coming together to say, no, we don't want more of the old stuff. We're laughing at the military parade. We're saying, no, he's impotent. He's powerless. We're not doing that. So why, pray tell, is now the threat of war? It's specifically because of that. We have leveled up in our last round of this challenge, and now we're in the higher octave. Now the challenge is even tougher. It's easy when we're just marching in the streets, there's no imminent threat, and we're coming together and it's joyful. It gets much harder to hold that vibration, to hold the manifestation, to actually break the karmic cycle when the stakes are much higher. That doesn't mean we're not going to do it. But what it means is this is a moment to double down, triple, quadruple down on anchoring the light, on holding the vision, on holding the manifestation. It does not mean that we're knocked off course. It does not mean that we're failing. It means we've come up against the higher octave and we're facing that mastery challenge in a new dimension. It is requiring of us that we build on the lessons we've already learned, the victories we've already won, primarily being that unity, that new level of unity we have just achieved. So this challenge we're facing right now is allowing us to say, okay, we're going to keep the unity, we're going to build on that momentum, and we're going to use that gain in strength to face down the next level of this challenge. Now, the reason I know so much about this is because I am a psychic medium, I am a healer, I have helped clients for almost 10 years, and I have been decades into my own healing cycles. I understand this spiral of creation. I understand mastery challenges inside and out, upside and down. This is how it works. This is how it works. Whether individually or collectively, this is always how it works. So an easier, simpler way to understand this is, let's say you have a challenge, like let's break it down in childhood, okay? Let's say you make a goal as a child, I am not going to fight with my brother and sister. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be the good kid and I'm going to be a helper to mom and I'm going to, something like that. We have the best of intentions. And so as we go along and say, big brother says something rude and we decide to stop and not buy into the bait and we're going to say, that's not going to get to me anymore. I am not going to tattle on you. And you beat that mastery challenge. Amazing. Awesome. But then as you go through life, the stakes are higher. And this time we find that little sister took our favorite shirt or our favorite toy and we are mad. We're mad because this isn't as simple as brushing off a stupid comment. Now this is personal and we are being faced again. Are we going to keep our word? Are we going to keep with this new pattern of being peaceful and not letting them get to us? Or are we going to slip back into old patterns and start fights? And depending on what we do in this moment, that will determine what comes next, because humans are essentially learning robots. And we create our reality based on our beliefs, our experiences, our patterns, our habits, our behaviors. And so if we, in this childhood example, are going to keep regressing into these big battles, life's going to get louder and louder. Your mom and dad are going to get more and more mad. You're going to be grounded, all the things, all the consequences, until you finally learn the lesson and are determined to go up the spiral and fight it every step of the way until it becomes your regular mode of behavior. You've locked it in, you've mastered it. So now when we apply this to what's going on the world stage, we can really see it. We as a collective are struggling with the mastery lesson. And we're seeing those small groups of people, those small angry men who still do things the old way. We're going to conquer and we're going to blow up and we're going to fight and we're going to oppress people. We're seeing those small groups of people with that power trying to enact that power and trying to keep those patterns in place. And of course this is happening. Of course this is happening right after the No King's Day and the humiliating showing in DC, because those little men are angry and they are trying to ramp up their actions. No, I have power. I'm in control. I'm the big man, and all of you people will cower in fear. But those of us who are in our mastery challenges, we are ascending and we are saying, we don't want this. We don't want war. We don't want control. We don't want you. So our mastery challenge becomes clear. We must simply continue to unify, continue to choose peace, continue to do our best to stay out of fear, to hold on to hope, to hold on to peace, to recognize our power as a collective, to say, no, we don't want this. And that is all we have to do. We have to hold the light. We have to hold hope. We have to hold faith. The more we do this, the more our energy becomes bigger and stronger and louder than those small angry men in power. We already have been doing it, and that is why it has escalated up the spiral to this point. All we have to do is hold the line, and we will get there. I am sending you all the love in the world. If you need help, continue to look at my emotional support playlist. Get whatever help you need, professional help, community help. We're going to get through this day by day. I am going to be holding another light circle. It's been a minute. I'm going to do another video and talk about it. But for now, because this video is super long, you can check it out at the link in bio. It's called Crossing the Manifestation Threshold. It's going to be on Sunday the 22nd. Yes, it's on a weekend. I finally got a space to do it so we don't have to do it in the middle of the day. So if you're interested in showing up, it's a group healing circle that I hold. We can connect together in the comments. I will lead this healing ceremony. We'll unite in our energies. They're wonderful. They're amazing. Links in the bio if you're on TikTok. If you are on YouTube, it's in the caption. Hope to see you there.